Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester and today I'm here to give you a Bitcoin update. I'm going to be covering Bitcoin on the short term, the mid term, and also the long term. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it here. Last time we spoke on this channel, we were sat and we were testing the resistance of this 36,315. From there, I said it's going to be great if we break, because that's going to be absolutely unreal if we break, and we will break through this downward sloping resistance line, which is coming down here as well. But unfortunately, guys, we didn't break. We didn't break, unfortunately, and we've just seen that dirty progression towards the downside over the last day or so. It's been pretty bad at all. We saw lows of around 33,318 there, so really, really bad. On the good news here, on a bit of good news, we are seeing a little bit of an uptrend forming here. We're seeing a little bit of an uptrend forming here, but unfortunately, guys, I am still going to be pretty bearish right now on Bitcoin, because look, we're setting lower highs continuously in terms of the shorter term time frame here. We're not looking like we're going to come up and challenge any lower highs coming through here, just because of, look at the resistance we got here. We've got horizontal resistance. The next one is sat at this 34,850, and then the next one is that 35,000, and that's not even taking into account this downward sloping resistance line we've got coming through from this parallel channel, right? So yeah, definitely heavy points of resistance to take into consideration here, guys. So I would expect some sort of correctionary period to the downside happening pretty imminently, right? Within the next few hours or so. I would not be surprised if we still have this uptrend continuing from there. When we get rejected from this zone here, when we find that resistance here, we do have a safety net at this horizontal level of support, and that is sat at around that 33,859. I don't think it's going to be absolutely imminent dumps. I do think it's going to be a bit of a slow maneuver, probably grinding the way down on this resistance line here before we see that correctionary period and potentially that continuation to the downside from there, right? Because at this point in time, as I was just saying, pretty bearish indeed, due to all these lower highs coming through, and also invalidating this higher low point here. We were testing it last time we spoke, right? We're testing it. We found a nice level of support coming through here, but unfortunately, no. We saw insane rejections to the downside coming through here from this downward sloping resistance line, and that invalidated this this higher low position that we had, this higher low point that we had here, guys, which it does mean there is going to be a reversal in the trend, and that's why we're seeing this have the continuation to the downside. Now, the next higher low is this zone here, in terms of a horizontal level of support. If we do have that continuation to the downside, we've got a big one here at 33,296. That's definitely a point to watch once we've seen the rejection coming through from this zone here, which I do think it is looking pretty likely to happen. Now, with that being said, guys, as I was saying, we do have this downward sloping support line of the lower side of this parallel channel as well to think about as well. So if you do come down, it looks like we got a couple of safety nets to catch us instead of us progressing further to the downside and then invalidating this higher low point here, right? Now, let me bring up the RSI on the shorter term time frame here for Bitcoin, because last time we were talking about this, we said about this downward sloping resistance line through here, and we're saying look at the resistance basically playing out continuously along this line, right? Pretty heavy stuff coming through here. And it did play out here, right? But as I was saying, if we are to the lower side of the RSI and we've got this downward sloping resistance line, the likelihood of us actually finding support on it, it's a lot more likely, right? We're likely to bounce off this zone here. So if we do see this resistance in a sense play out, from this zone here, if we see the resistance play out from this zone here, obviously that's going to have an effect on the RSI, and that's going to be bringing us down, right? So it's going to be a crucial point to watch in terms of this downward sloping support line coming through here, in terms of a bounce point there. So yeah, definitely something to take into consideration there, referencing the RSI here, guys. And also we do have a bullish divergence coming through here as well on the RSI. So that's another reason why we are seeing a bit of reversal in the trend right now, because obviously it's a bullish chart pattern coming through here, like so, right? So yeah, we are looking at seeing that bit of a correctionary period coming through here before we're likely to see that resistance play out. Now, guys, if the resistance isn't going to play out, which there is a chance that it couldn't, there is a chance that we actually do start smashing through targets with a lot of upwards momentum. But in terms of the fear and greed index here, look, everyone's real scared, and they have for quite a while here. Everyone's really scared, so that's obviously going to have an effect here, and it's obviously going to that's the wrong chart. It's going to obviously make Bitcoin have that continuation to the downside playing out, and the resistance being a lot more strong, right? Because the fear is there. But yeah, let's just go on the basis that we do break to the upside, right? We would be looking at some sort of measure move, looking like so. In terms of a target price, we could be seeing something around 36,770. Or potentially resistance playing out from this horizontal resistance point. As you can see, we did see that play out quite a few times last time we were speaking here on this channel, and that's at 36,315. So yeah, that's what could happen to the upside here. Now let's just go on the basis that we do see the resistance playing out here, and we do see swift swifty rejections coming through here, then we could be looking at a measure move to the downside, right? In terms of a live price right now for a measure move to the downside, if we didn't get to this top side point here, then I would be doing something along the lines of this, right? And that does take us right down to this dirty wick of this crypto crash at around that 30,600. I think if I jump to the longer term time frames here, I think that might correlate with this volume weighted ATR band coming through here in terms of a level of support, which we need to be looking at, and as well this falling channel on the longer term time frames. But we'll get to that, guys. We will get to that. And I must say, I hope you're all I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Pretty awful weather in England, right? But yeah, that's pretty much the RSI summed up here for the shorter term time frames for Bitcoin. As you can see here, the MACD, we do have this pretty strong level of support coming through here, in which we saw the trend reversal happen earlier. Last time we saw this insane dump, and the support point getting formed on this trend line here, we actually saw a reversal in the trend at this level of support. Coming through on the MACD here. So yeah, it's definitely a point to watch here if we are going to see a swift rejection coming through in terms of the price, right? If we are going to see that play out, we need to be watching this level of support on the MACD. So that's another point for you guys to reference as well. If we do see this bullish crossover, we're probably likely to see a bit of an uptrend and then the resistance playing off from here. If not, it's going to be pretty something flaccid like that, right? And then we're going to see a bearish crossover happen again, and then this trend is going to happen. That's obviously on the basis that we do have a bullish crossover here. If we don't, and these two moving averages decide to just drift apart from each other, and then we do have that continuation to the downside, or the resistance, or we hit the resistance point before we have that bullish crossover on the MACD here, then it's likely that we have the continuation to the downside here. And then we can talk about this this level of support coming through here on the MACD, right? So yeah, definitely a good point to reference there, guys, on the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin. Let me jump some moving averages in here. Let's have a look at some moving averages here on the shorter term time frames. We are below all major moving averages here, guys, on the shorter term time frames, and also we are below the volume weighted ATR band, which we're likely to find some resistance off at least, because as you can see, we do find levels of support continuously. And if I jump to the previous history here, you can see that we do if we do break it, right, if we do break it to the downside, we always basically reclaim it. It's facts, right? It's 100% of the time we always reclaim it at some point or another, guys. So yeah, at this point in time, we're currently testing the resistance off it. If we can break it to the upside, then that's going to be very good indeed, because you can see the support that gets formed here. So yeah, that's going to be the ideal scenario if we are looking for that progression to the upside, looking for this measure move here. That's going to be the ideal scenario here for Bitcoin on the shorter term time frames. But yeah, in summary, we're below all major moving averages here. We did have a little death cross coming through here on the 1 hour time frame. Didn't mean that much because obviously it's a shorter term time frame. That does bring me to the daily death cross that we've got incoming pretty sharpish, right? But yeah, we definitely need to take that into account, guys. So I'm going to jump to the midterm now and do a little summary for you on the midterm to see what's happening. Pretty much same sort of thing, but yeah, let me jump to that now. As you can see, we have been discussing this falling channel for quite a while, right? This parallel falling channel. We've been discussing it for quite a while. And we were flirting with the idea of the retest coming through here and then a long position to the upside here. That would have been very nice indeed. But no, we've just seen this downtrend absolutely smash through targets to the downside, invalidating higher low points, just setting lower highs continuously. Not healthy stuff for Bitcoin. The bears are out the woods, as I like to say on this channel. The bears are out the woods, and it's not good. Now, bit of positive stuff here. We do have a channel forming like so, right? We do have a big parallel channel to the upside forming like so, because we are finding support points, as you can see here, guys. But with that being said, if we're to break to the downside, right, we could be looking at some sort of measure move like so, which is absolutely dirty, bringing us all the way down to 26,000 there. Obviously, that is obviously depending on where we're going to break, and if we do break to the downside like so. And obviously taking into account, we're not just going to go straight down. We're going to have some flirting points along the way. If we do have that continuation to the downside, that's not good at all for Bitcoin. Really bad, actually. But we do have heavy levels of support all the way down. One at the next level of support in terms of the midterm here, in terms of a horizontal level of support, it's around that 33,000 there. And then the next one is around that 31,700. And that's sat at around these candle body close from that previous low point coming through here. Last time we invalidated these higher low points, which is sort of what's happening here, guys. So definitely something to watch there. If we lose this upward sloping support line, which we're currently finding, then it's looking pretty bad, I must say. The next target to the downside on the midterm here would be this horizontal, sat at around that 33,033. So yeah, watch this crucially, guys. But first things first, I would say that we are going to come up and test the resistance of this 34,891 there before we do see that swift rejection to the downside. I can see that basically playing out pretty heavily, right? Let me bring up the MACD here on the shorter term time, sorry, the midterm time frame here. And as you can see, this support point did get heavily respected, as we have seen it done before. In terms of the trend right now, it's still pretty dominantly a downtrend. We're pretty far away. We tried to have a bullish crossover coming through here to see the reversal in the trend. You see it all fizzling out here. But yeah, we tried to have it, didn't quite get it. As I was talking about, it could be happening here on the shorter term time frames. We're getting there in terms of the bullish crossover, but as I was saying here, it might not happen, guys. So we do need to take that into account here if we are going to see that continuation of the downtrend. As I was just saying, we do have a few support points coming through here on the MACD, and that's this one is at minus 315, and then the next one is at minus 431 there. So in terms of a live price for Bitcoin for that does correlate pretty well with these levels of support we got plotted through here, and that's one at 33, and then the next one at 31,700. And guys, as I was saying, I don't think we're going to be having imminent dumps, right? It's going to be a bit of a couple of swings coming through here. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for a couple of trades there, guys. Interesting stuff. In terms of the moving averages right now, we are below all major moving averages. In terms of the midterm here, volume weighted ATR band is sat around this zone, and that's sat around that 28,900. So if we do go down there, we know we're going to have a serious buy opportunity at this zone in terms of progression to the upside. We do know we find a lot of support on that zone. Let me show you guys the support that we find here. As you can see, it's obviously this little green line here. The support that we're finding is pretty good here. Obviously, this is the crypto crash, and as I said, if we do lose it, we trend below it, and then we always basically reclaim it, right? But in the meantime, we do find levels of support pretty well along it, right? Pretty well along it. Where are we? Is there any more? Yeah. As you can see here, we flirt along it quite a bit. So that's definitely something to take into consideration in terms of the live price here. If we do get that low, if we do lose this, the lower side of this rising channel pattern that we've got coming through here. But yeah, as I said, we've got pretty crucial horizontals to think about as well in terms of catch points there. In terms of the RSI right now for the midterm here for Bitcoin, I would be looking at as being let me get rid of the MACD quickly, guys. There we go. I would be looking at us being literally near enough oversold here, and that's why we're seeing this bit of a swift rejection to the top side here. So that buying power is coming back. But yeah, as I was saying before, the fear and greed index is really, really low at the moment. It's very, very scary. Everyone's scared, right? Everyone's pretty scared. So yeah, this is why the RSI isn't really recovering as quickly as we'd like it to. Even if it's consolidating, if the fear and greed is low, that's obviously going to mean not a lot of people are playing with Bitcoin at the moment, and they're pretty scared, of course. So we do need a consolidation period to get the RSI back to that central point before we're looking at another leg down or another leg up. Because if we do see a bit of a leg down coming through here, we know we're going to find a bounce point because we're going to get oversold on the RSI there, and that basically correlates with either this horizontal level of support coming through at 33,000 there, or as I was saying from this previous candle body close in terms of this low point here, that's sat at around at 31,700, 31,600 around that point there, guys. So yeah, definitely a point to watch there in terms of the RSI if we do get oversold there. So yeah, let me jump to the longer term time frames here for Bitcoin, because as you can see here, we got a couple of patterns playing through here. We got a couple of patterns. Obviously, we got this huge falling channel that we were discussing on the shorter term time frames. This big juicy one here. I've always got it plotted in on the bigger term time frames as well, because it is still pretty good indeed. So yeah, we do have this obviously this falling channel which we have come down and we have reclaimed. Now, with this wick that we've seen to the downside here, around that 33,500 mark, we've formed the idea of a symmetrical triangle pattern, right? We formed the idea for a symmetrical triangle pattern playing out here. Granted, it's not the most attractive in the world, but we have got a level of support coming through here, and also pretty dominant level of resistance, which we do know about, right? So if we are looking for a potential position here, guys, we could be looking at a short position to the downside. If we can break to the downside like so, we could be looking at something like that, and that obviously does bring us pretty much in line with the volume weighted ATR band here. So that's definitely something to think about in terms of if we break the lower side of this symmetrical triangle, and that's sat at around this 33,800, and that's going to bring us all the way down to 30k again, guys. Scary stuff, I know it's scary, and I know it's not very nice, but that is it's an opportunity. It's not an opportunity, but it could happen, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. It could happen. We do need to be vigilant here when trading Bitcoin, and we said at the start of the weekend, guys, we could see some crazy stuff, and we have, right? But yeah, and also that does correlate with the lower side of this channel as well, so it's likely we do find a nice bounce point there if we do go down to that low. So guys, if you want to be getting into a short position, I would be watching this zone pretty crucially. If we do lose that and we do have the continuation of the downtrend, it's likely we have this measure move play out. But obviously, depending on retests and stuff like that on the shorter term time frames, we need to manage that accordingly. Obviously, referencing a few indicators there as well. If you do miss the short position, rest assured, guys, because there is going to be a long position from this zone coming through here on the longer term time frames. Now, let me jump to the weekly. Oh no, let's discuss this death cross coming through here, right? As you can see, let me change my because I go on the. Oh, no, I've got the 50. I've got the 50 selected, not the 55. So yeah, this is the potential death cross coming through, guys. And this 55 is looking steeper to the downside here. Now we are seeing this trend actually play out a lot more. So it's going to be coming sooner rather than later, as we were discussing like this a few days ago. We could be seeing something like this, but at this point in time, it is looking very much so. It's going to be doing this over the next day or so. Not very good stuff coming through here. If we do see this death cross play out, it's not good. If you look back on previous Bitcoin history, I don't think after we lose this bull market barrier, when we do see a death cross, the first couple don't usually play out. So we need to take that into account. And it's not basically, don't just hit the death cross and then short everything. Like that's just not very smart, right? So we do need to take that into account, guys. It could literally be nothing. It could literally be nothing. There's definitely a factor in something that's going to have some sort of move in the price, right? Definitely, indeed. Whether it's the FUD in the market or what, it's definitely going to have some sort of move in the price. So yeah, take that into account as well, there, guys, for that death cross. But don't be insanely scared of it. Don't think the whole market's going to tank it down, because the likelihood of it really everything actually tanking it down just because two moving averages are crossing, right? It's not that likely, right? So yeah, leave it in your back pocket. Leave it in your back pocket for later. But yeah, interesting stuff there, guys. And yeah, if we do lose that is going to be a juicy buy and a juicy short if we can get there, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much. Let me jump to the weekly here. Let me jump to the weekly time frame, because obviously we got the weekly. Weekly candle is ending in 7 hours and 7 hours and 11 minutes there. So yeah, interesting stuff here, guys. We did see these in terms of a review for the week here, guys, on this fine Sunday evening. We did see these lower highs get eradicated, right? Invalidated, we saw, because of this dirty wick to this lovely wick to the top side, getting us all the way back up to 41,000 again. But from there, as we've seen on the shorter term time frames, this downtrend has just been so strong. So strong and pushing us all the way down here. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? Because if we do get a 7 hour and 10 minute candle close in that time frame above this 55 moving average, it's looking strong and finding a level of support. Now, if we lose the 55 moving average here, it's not the end of the world, as long as we don't lose 31,053. If we lose 31,053, then the next target to the downside would be 30,000. If we lose 30,000, guys, it's bad. It's seriously bad, right? It's really, really bad. It looks very bearish, more bearish indeed. And I can see definite progression to the lower side coming through pretty strongly indeed if we lose those zones, because we would be invalidating the key higher low point. And as you can see, we were setting high low point before in previous weeks here, and unfortunately we invalidated them. So I would really, really, really pray that we don't see insane dumps to the downside on this Sunday evening, right? Because if we do, it is really going to screw us up for the next few weeks, right, in terms of getting that recovery. But yeah, in terms of positive stuff, in terms of bearish stuff right now, it's not looking so bad, because as I said, we did invalidate these lower highs here. So yeah, as long as we can get a candle close above this 55 moving average, that's going to be absolutely amazing. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it from me. I'm gonna call it. Yeah, very tired. But yeah, so I will be streaming tomorrow morning, guys. Nice, bright and early. Nice Monday morning here. So yeah, if you want to tune into that, smash the subscribe button, smash that like button, and the notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads. It's as simple as that. And I stream twice a day, guys. One in the morning and one in the evening for you guys. I like to do stock market open as well. So yeah, if you want to join the community, also I'll put the Telegram group in the description of this video. So yeah, join that. We've got like 80 or 90 members near enough, and we all talking trading stuff all day. And if you're a new trader, you're a beginner out here, it's a safe space for you to ask questions as well, because there's a lot of professional traders in there, and it's all everyone's nice people in there. It's a nice community we've got going on there. So yeah, drop a like, drop a subscribe, and yeah, I will see you in the morning, guys. But for now, it's peace out from me, Crypto Chester.